What's up everyone, how you all doing? BlueNerd here and welcome back my friends to our Minecraft survival world. So guys, before we get started, let me just apologise for this episode being a little bit late. I've been busy gathering up a whole bunch of resources, so we should be good for a few episodes now to get going with a bunch of building and a load of stuff that I've got planned. So there's a lot of stuff to show you in today's episode. Now we're going to kick off into a short time lapse here guys, because we're going to start building up an area where we're going to build a kind of a villager trading hall, and this is going to look a little bit kind of like a town hall, but obviously it's going to be a place where we're going to house our villagers so that we can start getting in some decent trades for some books. I really want to get some good books for enchanting. I'm hoping we can get maybe some unbreaking 3 and maybe efficiency 5 and stuff like that. So I really want to start getting in a bunch of them books. Now, this is a really cool little area. I love it down by the river here, and I think this is a perfect spot to build the villager trade hall. Now, in last episode, guys, we didn't have any villagers. We had, I think it was 2 or 3 villagers, and they weren't breeding. And I found out that what the problem was where the villager beds were, there's only 2 blocks. So the block where the bed is and the 1 block above. So 2 blocks in height for a villager. Now, the villagers would sleep in the bed, and the villagers would also try to breed, and you'd see hearts, but nothing was happening. They weren't having babies or anything. So I kind of messed around. I decided I was going to try and make the area a little bit bigger. So I started digging out the roof where the beds were. And once it got that 1 extra air block gap, so there was 3 blocks. So you got the 1 block where the bed is and then 2 blocks above it. Once I'd done that, it allowed the villagers to start breeding and they started having babies. So I think what you've got to do when you're creating these systems is you've got to make sure that there is at least 2 air blocks above the beds, otherwise they won't breed for some reason. Now I don't know if that's just a bug or if that's actually part of the mechanics, but either way it's working now. So we've got ourselves a few villagers and they're breeding away nicely. So I want to start getting in a bunch of new villagers, and hopefully we can get ourselves some cool books in the process. Now this build guys, as much as it looks like it was a nice quick and easy build, this did take a lot of planning and messing around with, but I got a design that I was happy with in the end, and I really love the look of it. I think the colours work so well. We're using the spruce wood and the smooth sandstone, which I think is a really nice block, and a block that I definitely want to use a little bit more. Now, as you can see, it's quite a large building, but we're also going to be building it down under the ground so that we can make room for plenty more villagers and stuff like that, because I want to get in as many villagers as I can so that I can get more good trades out of them. So it should be pretty cool. Now, with that being said, guys, there's also going to be a need for a few more farms. If we're going to be doing trade with villagers, we're going to need a good supply of maybe either carrots, potatoes, or pumpkins, sugarcane, and things like that. So at some point, I do want to get in a bunch of those farms, and we're probably going to start working on those next episode. But for now, we're just going to get in this trade system and work from that. And like I said, there's a few things I've been doing that I want to show you guys, because we've got a whole big area for building now. I've been digging out an area for a storage system and a bunch of other things as well. Anyway guys, let's go ahead and jump in the game and take a look at what we've been doing. Alright guys, we are finally back, and I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. Now guys, before we get started, just take a look at this. Doesn't this look nice? I mean, this little part of the village here is just shaping up so nicely. I love the way that it looks down by the river here, and the variety of roofs with the acacia, the spruce, the dark oak. I just think it looks so nice. I really do like this a lot. And I love the way this building is shaped up for our trade hall. I think this is really cool. I love the smooth sandstone and the spruce combination. I think it works so well together. And also down the bottom here, we've got the stone and the site, and then some cobblestone on the bottom here. Just a few cobblestone though, not too many. And I think it just looks so nice on the bottom of the build. So we may go and do that on a few of our other builds as well. Just switch up some of the brickwork. But yeah, overall guys, I gotta say I'm over the moon with this. Now, although we started out building this villager trade hall, guys, we're not going to be doing it in today's episode because I'm not sure of the layout I want to do just yet. I've still got some planning to do, so I'm going to work out exactly what I want to do for the villager trade hall off camera. And then once I know what I'm going to do, we'll go ahead and build it. But if we take a look inside, as you can probably see, we have got a ton of room in here. We've got loads of room to play with. I'm thinking I want to get a lot of librarians in here, so that we can trade with some books and stuff like that, some enchanted books. So if we need to, we can also make a staircase going down, say about here or something, and make another room at the same size below here if we want to extend our trade hall. But we do have quite a lot of room here to play with, so this should probably do for what we need it for anyway. Anyway, let's head back outside, guys. And we're going to head over to the, well, I'll show you the villager breeder, because there's a couple of things that I need to show you, because this wasn't working at all. No matter what I'd done, it wasn't working. So I found a couple of, well, I found out one main thing. Because we had the villagers in here, 2 villagers in here, and they were getting hearts, they were sleeping in the beds, they got their workstations, everything here was here that they needed. But no matter what, they would not breed babies, even though they were showing hearts. And I was messing around trying to figure out what it was for ages. Couldn't figure it out. So in the end, what I'd done, I went into where their beds was. Now the beds had 1 air block above it, so it's 2 blocks high in total, which is the height of the villagers, so it's fine. They were sleeping in the beds, no problem. But above them, I went ahead and I broke the roof out, and then I laid it 1 block higher, so there's now 3 blocks below, so there's 2 air blocks above the bed. Now the second I done that, literally one of the villagers had a baby. So there's something to do with the beds. They gotta have 2 air blocks above the bed. So if you have a villager breeder and it's not working, check that you've got 2 air blocks above the bed. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's something to do with iron golems spawning. There needs to be room for iron golems to spawn. I really do not know. But yeah, it's something I didn't realize in the game. But yeah, it's working now, and we've got a load of villagers. So we're going to let them continue breeding up. I'm going to add some more beds down there at some point. And then at some point later on, we'll filter them into our villager trade hall, which is going to be in here once we've got a layout all ready. We'll have to come and deal with these iron golems here as well, because we have got a few too many of them. And I may go and change that texture as well. I'm not too keen on the default one. I did change the little flowers to red rather than yellow, because it didn't make sense for them being yellow when they carry poppies. So I went ahead and made it red, but we may go ahead and change them out for a different texture. I might mess around with it a little bit. But anyway, we're going to head over to the warehouse that we built in the last episode, because I've been busy digging and digging and digging away for what seems like forever, guys. I've done so much digging, I honestly cannot tell you how much digging I've done. So we come inside here, and if we go downstairs, we cleared a little bit of space. Now yeah guys, I know what you're thinking, what is all this space for? So I want to build an automatic storage system so that I can stay organized with all of my items. I hate being unorganized when I'm building, so this is going to be the automatic storage system. So we'll have a load of chests that get automatically sorted all the way down this side here, round the back, and then all the way back down to this corner here. Now I'm hoping this is going to be enough room to store all of the things that I want to get stored. If not, we're going to have to either extend that way down there or make another level going downwards. I'm not too sure how we're going to do it just yet, but yep, that's the idea in mind. I think it might actually look cool if we had a second layer downstairs anyway, maybe a little bit smaller than this, and we could have a balcony overlooking it. I think it would probably look pretty cool. So we might go ahead and do that. And the nether portal just here is going to probably be relocated to maybe like a big one over this corner here or something like that. I don't really know just yet. I still got to get a load of plans in place for that. But yeah, I've been busy working on that. But before we can do our storage system here, I'm going to need an iron farm. So we're going to have to get some villagers for an iron farm, which should be easy enough to do. That's not a problem. We'll probably come back and do that in next episode. But I also want to get to the end. I really want to take on the Ender Dragon, get an Elytra, and get some shulker boxes just to make life a little bit easier for building. But before we do that, I need to get some better enchanted gear and stuff like that. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to head about 1,000 blocks in that direction, and we're going to build a mob farm above the ocean. Now I've got a platform already in place, ready to start building. So we can travel through the nether. I've got a nether portal over there, so it should be a lot quicker to travel because it's about 1,000 blocks. So I believe it's about 8 times closer in the nether, so it should probably be somewhere around 100-150 blocks away from us. So we're going to travel through and see if we can go over there and start building up a mob farm. Now the mob farm is going to give us a bunch of drops, so when we do get an elytra, we'll be able to create fireworks easily because we'll have plenty of gunpowder. But it'll also give us a bunch of other drops like bones and stuff like that we can use for bone meal and stuff like that. So it'd be really handy anyway. So we're going to dive in over there, guys. We're going to head straight into a time lapse and you guys can watch me build up the mob farm. And then hopefully we can start gaining a good bit of XP, get some enchanted items and also get some good drops while we're there. And then that way, once we get our elytra, we'll be ready to fly with no problems. Alright guys, and several hours later we are back and the farm is all working. Now I've got to say guys, that took me a little bit longer than I expected. I think I just got shot by a skeleton, most likely. Anyway, but as you can see, the farm is working. We got it up there. One thing I might do, because we keep getting spiders that land on the wall here. As you can see, I've got a couple, well, 3 of them actually on the wall here. So I'm probably going to go ahead and get rid of this guy first of all. I'm probably going to go ahead and probably raise these walls all the way to the top there so that it just blocks it all off. I think that would probably be the best bet. But yeah, as you can see guys, the farm is working nicely. Let's head down to the grinder down here and see what we have. And as you can see, we got a bunch of them down here guys. Now, I've got mending on my sword so we can slice away. And I do apologise if this is loud guys. It's hard to tell on the recording. I'll try and get it turned down so that it's not so loud. But as you can see, it's working pretty good. So guys, this farm seems to supply a constant drop of enemies. No matter how fast you do it, you end up with a couple left and then more will drop. So it seems to be constant with enemies dropping. So this should be good to get us a good amount of XP, which is really cool. And overall guys, I really like it. I will go ahead and decorate it a little bit at some point, make it just look a little bit nicer, because at the moment it's just a big floating pile of mess by the looks of it. So we probably will go ahead and do something just to make it look a little bit nicer at some point. But for now, it does the job. It gets us XP and it gets us a bunch of drops as well. So if we head down here, and on the bottom level down here, guys, we've got our storage. Now we haven't filled it up or anything like that yet, but we have got a fair amount of items. As you can see, we've got 2 stacks of bones and a bit, a stack and a half nearly of string, nearly 2 stacks of gunpowder, 2 and a bit stacks of arrows. Oh, we've got some more string just there. We got 9 spider eyes. We've got a carrot, 2 potatoes, a bit of redstone, an iron ingot, and 2 sticks, and then a bunch of bows, which I'll probably just combine them together just to make a repaired bow. And if we get any with good enchantments, then we'll go ahead and use the enchantments as well. But overall, guys, I'm really happy. I think the farm is going to be just what we need. The good thing is as well, it runs just as well during the day as it does the night, although it does slow down a little bit. But we still get a ton of drops to keep us going and keep the XP running. Alright guys, we're at level 40 and I think that will do for now. This thing just doesn't stop. Look at it. It just constantly keeps flowing out enemies. That is brilliant guys. I am over the moon with that. That is going to give us plenty of experience and plenty of drops as well. So we're going to head back to base for the moment to do a bit of more planning and stuff like that. As you can see guys, I did dig out a pathway and it's pretty much a straight pathway for about 120 blocks ish this way, which is pretty easy to get all the way to our next tunnel. And this will be the one that takes us through to home. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to come in here and do something with this at some point. I didn't bring a bow with me, which was a bit silly. Just run. There we go. So here's our nether portal here, guys, and then there's our tunnel over there for the next one. So I want to make some kind of room to house our nether portals, because we're going to have rooms at some point going out in all directions to different places. So we will be working on a nether hub at some point soon as well. But we'll work that out as we come to it. And then here we are back at our base. And again, this is where our storage room is going to be. So we'll come back to this again later on, but we do need to get a iron farm up and running at some point as well. So maybe we'll work on the iron farm in next episode. That will give us a chance to get ready to start on the storage system. And then we're going to have to make a few other farms along the way as well. And I might do a little bit of planning off camera, but nothing too crazy, so that you guys can still follow along when we do the episodes. Alright guys, before we finish up the episode, I'm going to quickly go over a few of the questions from our last episode. And while we're doing that, I'm going to remove this bit of the floor plan here for these buildings, and we're going to go over and just plan it before we finish up the episode as well. But like I said, while I'm removing it, we're going to go ahead and just read out a few of the comments from last episode. Okay, last episode I asked you guys what is your favourite game other than Minecraft. So this first comment comes in from Simos Gaming, and he says Final Fantasy 15 is definitely one of my favourite games. Best MMO I've ever played, with a great story and great characters. Also, some cool things you could add to your village are a poor area / slumps of the village with some small and broken down houses. Which the roads, you could have a path made with dirt-like blocks and path blocks instead of stone. Also, the stone road would look really good near the pier. 2. A wall to protect your village. You don't need to add the wall on top of the sea, although a gatehouse leading into the piers would be really cool. Okay, so some great ideas there. I've definitely got plans for a slump or sort of run down part of the city, a sort of poorer area, and that's going to be just over the bridge from where the little river is. I think this side is going to be the good side, and then just over the river we're going to create a little bit more of a kind of poorer, run down area, maybe even a little bit of a farming lands around the back, you know, just some little, only small farms, nothing big, just some small little farms and stuff, just to kind of make it feel a little bit more lower class. So we're definitely going to be doing that. That is definitely a really cool idea. Now, as for the wall around the village, I probably will do some kind of wall around the village and stuff. I still got to plan a few things and stuff. I'm not sure if I really have enough sort of room for a gatehouse that leads onto the piers, but I'm going to see what I can do, see if I can incorporate something that might work with that. But there's definitely some great ideas there, Simos Gaming, and I really appreciate the comment, my friend. Okay, and this next question comes in from Richard Hodge, and now I've had this question quite a few times actually. He says, great builds mate, what about building a medieval style arena, Colosseum, somewhere in the area? Keep up the great builds, really enjoying them. First of all, thank you very much, Richard. That's a great comment, my friend. And a Colosseum, I'm not too sure if there was really many Colosseums in the medieval kind of era. I don't know if that was a sort of thing. I'll have a look it up and see if it is, but it's definitely something I will consider. I'm also planning, like I said in last episode, I'm planning on doing a lot of areas that are like towns, but in different styles. So there's going to be a lot of different style builds and stuff, and one area that I really don't want to do, and we'll probably do it next, will be kind of like a Roman Italian kind of style area, and in there we're going to have like a Colosseum and all of those big Roman buildings that you see. I don't really know the names of them, so I've got to do a little bit of research and stuff, but we're definitely going to be doing a Roman area. And if you guys enjoy it and you want to see it, we could consider doing that as our next town. But we still got a bit of a way to go on this town yet. But yeah, guys, let me know what style we should do for our next town as well. I'd love to hear what you guys think of that, and we can use that as the question of the day for next episode. So be sure to let me know in the comments below. Okay guys, and this one comes in from Red Phoenix, and he says, looking good. It's awesome seeing this town expand, and I get lots of ideas from your builds. Personally, I play a lot of different games, but I am mainly focused on Minecraft. Now, I'm glad my builds are giving you lots of ideas, my friend. That's the whole idea. And one thing I like to do with the Let's Play series, I like to kind of do lots of building and stuff like that, because it's not always necessarily just about giving you guys a story and a bit of fun. It's also about giving you guys a lot of inspiration and builds and that. So a lot of the time lapses and the things like that I do, I try to do them to give you guys sort of ideas and inspirations for your own town, so that it can give you more ideas for what might fit into your town and stuff like that. That's also why we're going to be doing a variety of builds through this Let's Play. So we'll be doing a variety of different towns, of different styles and stuff like that, that'll hopefully keep you guys inspired. Okay guys, now this last comment I get quite a lot recently, and this one comes in from Velvet Kais, and I hope I got that name right, my friend. And he says, how about joining Sourceblock? Because most of my favorite YouTuber is there. Not seeing you just breaks my heart. Now, first of all, thank you so much, my friend. Honestly, I would love to join Sourceblock. I mean, Mythical Sausage, Whip, Skippy6 Gaming, I think, is it Wattles or that? They're all on there. All of those guys are on there, and these are guys that I've watched myself as well for a very long time. Now the only problem is that Source Block is a private server, so it's an invite only server, so unless you're invited to the server you can't really play on it. And although I spoke to Flip and Mythical Sausage in comments and that through YouTube and stuff, I've never really interacted fully with them, so it would be great to join on there with them, but I believe I've probably got to get to know them a little bit first as well. But you never know, maybe in the future sometime if they're interested in inviting me, I would love to join them. It would be an honor. Anyway guys, that is just about the end of the comments, so let's just head over here quickly and just pile up, and we can take a quick look at what we've got in plans for next episode. So to start next episode off, I think we're going to build up these two houses here, and we'll probably do it in a time lapse like we normally do. We're going to have a big build over in the corner here, and I might divide this into 2 or 3 little kind of apartments, maybe even have a shop down at the front here. And then this one's going to be a diagonal building. We'll have a big chimney on the side here, and I'm not too sure, we'll probably turn it into a shop of some sort, because like I said, there's a lot of shops that I want to actually build, because we're going to create farms underneath that sell the items from what the farms make. So there's a bunch of them that I want to make at some point, so we're going to keep that all in mind for the building. But it will be nice to have the front of the sea here, so the view from the front of the docks all looking nice. And then we can start working further into the back of the town up here, joining in some more bigger houses and some shops and other things like a town hall and stuff like that as well, which would be really cool. Anyway guys, I think we're going to wrap it up just there, because this has been quite a long episode. There's been a lot of work that's gone into this episode. I know we haven't done an awful lot of talking because we've done a fair bit on the time-lapse side of things. But there has been a lot of work, so I think we're going to wrap it up just here guys, because we are out of time. But as always, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, please remember to smash that like button guys, because it really helps me out and it lets me know that you guys want to see more. And if you're new to the channel, then please consider subscribing. Just don't forget to hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. But for now, this is BlueNerd signing out, and I will catch you guys in the next one.